Hedgehug, the hedgehog, had just put on his slippers when he heard someone at the top of his burrow. "Howdy, partner. Y'all ready for the party?" "Hello, Hannah," said Hedgehug. "What party? And why are you dressed as a cowgirl?" There's Hedgehug. There's Hannah dressed up. "Reginald's Halloween party," said Hannah. "Don't tell me you forgot." It was the biggest party in the forest, and Hedgehug had forgotten all about it. "I don't even have a costume," said Hedgehug. Hedgehug's trunk was full of cool stuff, but nothing seemed right for the party. "Maybe I can go as a hedgehog," said Hedgehug. "I'm scary." "Since when?" said Hannah. Then Hedgehug saw something that just might work. He slipped his costume carefully over his head. "This is going to be fun," thought Hedgehug. That's him getting ready. And he goes, "Boo! Rip!" Hedgehug was horrified. "I'm supposed to be a ghost, not Swiss cheese," he thought. Luckily, he had another idea. Oh my God. Poor Hedgehug. Out in the forest, night was falling. Hedgehug Hedgehug hoped that Eddie was still in her tree. What if she's already left for the party? They're gonna go find their friend. And it's not Eddie, it's probably Edie. Maybe it's Edie. "Edie, Edie, are you there? Hoot, hoot, hoot." So Edie must be an owl. "Wow," said Hedgehug, "that's a great costume." "I'm glad you like it," said Edie, "or I would have had to turn you into a toad." It is a good costume. "Yes, make him a toad," said Hannah. "He really needs a costume for the party." Hedgehug wasn't so sure. "Do you know any other spells, Edie?" said Hedgehug. "I will work some magic," said Edie. "I need purple balloons, the leaves of a cottonwood tree, and a feather from a clever owl." Put them together and hoot! Hedgehug was so happy with his costume he couldn't stop smiling. What is he? Is he grapes? Possibly. "Pop, pop, 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 pop." "Shoot," said Hannah. "Drat," said Edie. All the balloons went pop, pop, pop. Hedgehug knew there was no time to mope. "Come on, you two," said Hedgehug. "Doris must have something I can wear." Okay. Now they're going to go find their friend Doris. "Doris, are you in there?" called Hedgehug. "We need a costume for Hedgehug," shouted the others. "Quick, come in," said Doris, putting the finishing touches on a pumpkin. "One more minute and you would have missed me." "Hedgehug," said Doris, "I have a brilliant idea." Doris got straight to work. Snip, clip, snip. I bet she's going to be a fairy. Clip, snip, clip, rap, snip. When she was finished, everyone agreed Hedgehog's costume was brilliant. I think he's a mummy. I think he's a mummy. Until he tried to walk. He broke it. Hedgehog picked himself up and waved good night to his friends. There was only one place left to go. Home. Oh. He said, see ya. Tired, defeated, and alone, Hedgehog trudged through the forest, unaware that something was following him. Hedgehog heard a sound behind him. Hello, said Hedgehog. I think the party is the other way. Hedgehog, it's us, said his friends, and we've got the perfect costume for you. Spooky. But it's just his friends. Knock, knock. Happy Halloween, called Hedgehog. And some friends showing up. Look, they found him a costume. He's a cactus. Everyone at the party cheered. Yay! The end. The end. Aww, it was a happy ending for Hedgehog. That's good. Okay. So, I've got another book to share. This one's Herbert's First Halloween. Okay, ready? Okay. Herbert's First Halloween. Herbert was not sure about Halloween. You see Herbert? Herbert's father loved Halloween. He was very excited that this was Herbert's first. There's Herbert. There's Herbert's dad. Herbert's father showed him an old photograph of when he was a little boy on Halloween. It was hard for Herbert to know if it was actually him under that cowboy hat. That's when I was 3, said Herbert's father. Herbert was not sure. Herbert's not sure. I didn't want to be spooky, said Herbert's father. I wanted to be a cowboy. Can I be a cowboy? Asked Herbert. Yes, you can, said Herbert's father. Can I be a tiger? Asked Herbert. Yes, said Herbert's father. Wants to be a tiger. Kind of like a stuffy. He's got a stuffy tiger. I wonder if his stuffy tiger's name's Hobbs. Because only stuffy tigers can be called Hobbs or Tigger. Herbert's father measured Herbert from head to toe. He measured him for ears. He measured him for a tail. He measured him for paws with claws. Let's get his measurements. Herbert asked, "Can I roar?" The answer was yes. Herbert would roar on Halloween. He practiced it in his closet. He's practicing his roar. Herbert's father carved a Halloween pumpkin. He gave it a big smile because the pumpkin was so happy to be at Herbert's house. They named it Jack and put it on the porch. Herbert's father told Herbert about the candy. On Halloween, it's everywhere, said Herbert's father. Everywhere? Asked Herbert. You will need a bucket, said Herbert's father. A bucket? Asked Herbert. A big one, said Herbert's father while sewing up a very fine tiger tail. A big bucket. On the last day of October, Jack put on his biggest, brightest smile, and Herbert put on his costume. First the ears, then the tail, then the paws with claws. There's Jack, the pumpkin. And there's Herbert's ears and tail and paws with claws. Herbert took his father's hand. I'm ready, said Herbert, and because he had been practicing, Herbert gave a very fine roar. As they walked from house to house, Herbert saw other children with their costumes. Walk in the neighborhood. The little ghost said boo, but Herbert said roar. Just as Herbert's father had promised, candy was everywhere. Herbert roared, many tiger thank yous. Then it was time to go home. You are a very good tiger, said Herbert's father. I might be a bear next time, said Herbert. Bears can be scary, said Herbert's father. Are you sure? Herbert gave it some thought. The answer was yes. He's ready to be spoopy and scary. He was sure. He went from not so sure to being sure. Okay. Well, that was good too. That's 2 good books in a row. Okay. I think we've got a little bit of time for one more book. And this one is Little Goblins 10. Over in the forest, where the trees hide the sun, lived a big mommy monster and her little monster one. Scare, said the mommy. I scare, said the one. So he scared and he scampered where the trees hide the sun. He's learning how to scare. Over in the forest, where spooks shout boo, lived a pale daddy ghost and his little ghosties too. Haunt, cried the daddy. We haunt, cried the two. So they hid and they haunted where spooks shout boo. There's the daddy. And there's the 2 littles. Over in the forest, near a gnarled oak tree, lived an old mother zombie and her little zombies 3. Stare, said the mommy. We stare, said the 3. So they all stared together near the gnarled oak tree. There's the mommy. And there's her little zombies staring. Over in the forest where the fierce winds roar, lived a gray father werewolf and his little wolvies 4. Howl, said the father. We howl, said the 4. So they howled and they growled where the fierce winds roar. Over in the forest, where the shadows come alive, lived an old mother mummy and her little mummies 5. Moan, said the mother. We moan, said the 5. So they moaned and they groaned where the shadows come alive. There's the mummy, Mama, and there's the little mummies. Over in the forest in a hovel made of sticks lived an old mother witch and her little witchies 6. Cackle, screeched the mother. We cackle, screeched the 6. So they crowed and they cackled in the hovel made of sticks. There's the mama witch. And there's the little witchies. Over in the forest, in a mossy green haven, lived a scaly father dragon and his little dragon 7. Daddy dragon. Little dragons. What are the dragons gonna say? Breathe, said the father. We breathe, said the 7. So they breathed flames of fire in the mossy green haven. They're all breathing fire. Over in the forest by the graveyard gate lived a bony father skeleton and his little skellies 8. Rattle, said the father. We rattle, said the 8. So they rattled and they ran by the graveyard gate. Over in the forest near a tall dark pine lived a furry mother bat and her little batties 9. Swoop, said the mother. We swoop, cried the 9. So they swooped in the shadows near the tall dark pine. You see all the little baddies? Over in the forest, in a deep green glen, lived an old father goblin and his little goblins 10. Leap, said the father. We leap, said the 10. So they laughed and they leaped in the deep green glen. And here's them laughing and leaping. Over in the forest where the trees hide the sun, the big mommy called to her little monster 1. Trick or treat, asked the mommy. Treat, cried the 1, so they skipped off together for some Halloween fun. They're going to join up with all their friends. The end. That was cute. That was cute, cute. hope you enjoyed the 3 little Halloween books I had to share. And I hope you have a happy Halloween too.